Covalent bonds. First thing I'd like for you to do is a quick review over ionic bonds. So take a look up on the top left of your note sheet and go ahead and pause this video and take a couple of minutes to fill this out and try to do it first without looking at any of your notes. So take a minute, pause the video, and once you have those completely filled out, and please, please, please take time to do this on your own. It's a great exercise to help you review it, and then start the video back up. A positive ion is called a cation. A negative ion is called an anion. A metal and nonmetal bond to form ionic compounds. Now the properties of ionic bonds, if you will remember, think back to how I drew the witch and all those characteristics that the witch had for ionic properties. These are strong bonds. They have high melting points and boiling points. If you don't recall, MP and BP mean melting point and boiling point. Please add that to your notes. They dissolve in water, or they are soluble in water. They conduct electricity because of those positive and negative charges. And lastly, they are crystalline solids. Now I want you to, without notes preferably, try to go in and name these following ionic compounds. Remember, the very first thing you do is check to see if it is a transition metal. And then you will need to use, if it is, you will need to go to your ionic chart. So pause the video and take a couple of minutes to do the naming ionic compounds. Magnesium and oxygen. Magnesium is not a transition metal, so you will go ahead and name it normally and add IDE to the second name. B is hydrogen sulfide. And on C, you are going to have to write the formula. So be sure and check out what the charges are for the nonmetal, to be able to know how to use and name how many you will need of the nonmetal and the metal. Lithium has a +1 charge, and carbon has a ±4 charge. So you will need 4 lithium to be able to balance the 4 carbon. On D, you have beryllium and nitrogen. Beryllium is not a transition metal, so you just name it normally. Add IDE to the second one. On E, you will need to check the charges to be able to write the formula. Potassium has a +1 charge, chlorine has a -1, so you only need 1 of each of them. Rhodium is a transition metal, so you would need to look at your ionic charges chart. First thing we do is we check the charge on bromine, which is a -1. There are 3 of these, and so the total charge would be -3. So we know we need to have a +3 charge for rhodium. So it would be rhodium 3 bromide.